But the
Are we talking about last year's music? What'd you say?
Yeah. So I know last year's music is basically.
Okay, bro. I'm sorry. I have to interrupt you, bro. This fuck shit finally happened to me, bro. Someone else uploaded as Joran, and it got put on my fucking Apple Music, bro.
Damn.
Who the fuck is Knock Knock by Joran?
You a white guy too?
Not a white guy.
That's hip hop.
Hey, bro, who the fuck is this? On my Apple Music. Talk about Nanon and Joran. Right on my shit. Who that? Who the fuck is that? Okay. That's crazy. Me and Soph AI is crazy. Anyway, sorry.
All right, you can go. You can go into that then. You about to be Josh Jordan, right?
Yeah, I'm switching over to Josh Jordan, bro. We're adopting the whole identity, bro. We're putting my R back in the name. I'm getting rid of the 15-year-old version of myself. When I was 15, look, a lot of people probably don't know this. When I was 15, look, my last name is Jordan, Jorrin. When I was 15 years old, I took the R out of my artist name so my parents wouldn't hear me talking about smoking weed in my music. Sorry, mom and dad. You know what I mean? I didn't want, you know what I mean? Like, you know, y'all, if you listen to the Dear Nana, Dear Papa project last year, and or especially if you copped it on Even, and you've seen the interview with my dad where I talk about my pops is a workers' compensation attorney. The last thing I wanted was the law offices of Jordan, motherfuckers looking for that, and then they finding me. So I was really trying to be on some protective shit of the family, you know what I mean? But it just carried on, you know? Like, I didn't know, bro. When I was 15, 16, I didn't know I was going to take music so serious. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was having fun.
Yeah.
It's my artist name. You know what I mean? Before that, it was Janeklo. J Squared. You know what I mean? I had some names. You hear me?
Janeklo.
Yeah, Janeklo. I was going for SEO on that one.
I remember J Squared. I remember you told me that one.
Yeah, J Squared. Janeklo is crazy. Yeah.
What the fuck was with that SEO?
Yeah, that was just SEO. I was like, I don't know where it came from. My email was joshskater10. I came up with Janeklo. It was Janeklo. I was like, ain't nobody gonna have that name. Once you search me, I'm gonna be the only one. Well, same thing ended up being the deal with Jordan. I did Jordan with one R, and I was the only one for a long time, bro. For years, I was the only Jordan until just recently. You know what I mean? So there's another Jordan now, and he's doing numbers on YouTube. If you go search Jordan with one R on YouTube, this dude, he's a young dude, he's fucking doing numbers. I don't even know what kind of videos they are, but I'll be seeing them when I search shit. I'll be looking at my music videos and shit. I'll be like, damn. So yeah, all to say, I'm switching to Josh Jordan, man. It's my real name. I don't feel like there's any need to falter away from my real identity in the name of my motherfucking mom and dad gave me. So, and I feel like it's the perfect time with this release titled No More Fairy Tales.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No more fairy tales. Be coming with my real name. You know what I'm saying? It's a change of pace. We may or may not re-upload some old music. I know that there's a lot of music. I mean, I'm up to like 110 releases or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's deep in the catalog. You know, so
Yep.
we're gonna see. But yeah, man. Welcome to the rebrand. You know what I'm saying? It's Josh Jordan in this motherfucker. Oh wait.
Yeah, in real time, the ones that I was like, I think these are.
Hey,
real.
thumbnail, bro. Thumbnail.
In real time, I was like, and it works too with what you just said, of personal shit. Obviously, Dear Nana is about your grandparents, so that would be tight to like continue to hear and like tell the story. And 1994, just because it was like, 94.
Yeah.
Like, that's the year you were born. You were born. It felt like a cool little segue.
Bro, that album art was fucking tight.
Yeah, it was fire.
It was me and my boy Brian, bro.
Yeah, I think that too with that one, you could tell like a real, like dive deeper into a story of that as well.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, this is 1994. That's your boy Brian. Like, I didn't even know that, to be real. I didn't know who that was.
Yeah,
I couldn't
that's
remember.
my boy Brian.
Yeah.
That's cap.
Y'all riding bikes, right?
Yep. Children riding bicycles, brother.
Children riding bicycles.
Fucking crazy, bruh.
So.
Fucking crazy, cuz. Whoa.
Yeah.
I'm not on Instagram during the interview because I can be. Cause I can be. It's our interview, cuz.
Shit, I definitely just wanted to ask about that for sure. How you felt about those ones, but
Yeah, I mean, bro, I love all the old music, I really do. It's like, and we could even pick out the favorites, you know what I'm saying?
that's because that's what I was really thinking.
Yeah, and like Divulgence off rip, I mean, there's a reason that's still on platforms, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Big Boss Sloth, there's a reason that this, I mean, those are some of my best, and it's crazy how it kind of just happened like that,
Yeah.
but those are some of my best bodies of work. You know what I'm saying? So shout out you, shout out Connor Helm. Everything else that I did, and we've talked about this, I've mentioned this in other reviews, I was proving a point to myself, bro, and people can think what they want about that, but to me, it was completely necessary. Like, I already, like, if I look, there's, like, milestones, right? Even though I'm not fucking no crazy level, right? I'm still fucking trying to figure it out and shit. It's like, there's milestones. It's like, okay, yeah, bro, I remember fucking feeling like a rapper for the first time, and it was Sinking in the Sand music video when it dropped. When the music video dropped for Sinking in the Sand, the way that people reacted, I was like, oh, okay, I got that. And I was just myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I had the homies come out, I rapped about some shit I wanted to rap about, you know what I mean? And it was cool, And then it was like, you fast forward, and literally the next big milestone to me is, what made me really knew that I was about it and could do it was me and Chico going on a fucking 10 project run.
Yeah. Fuck.
You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, creating it, mixing it, album art, releasing it, video content, even if it was lacking at times, bro, nothing went without content.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Songs did, but not projects.
Yeah, not projects.
You know what I mean? Projects there was never a project that we just dropped and never said nothing about. You know what I mean? So that showed me like, oh yeah, bitch, we could really do this shit. And in all of that time, we built the hard skills. You know what I mean? Now you're telling me like, oh yeah, I'm about to put my dick in these mixes. Like it's over with. And I can't help but think that I was at least a part of that process, a part of those reps. You know what I mean? And obviously, shout out to Ray Sell, shout out to Gino, shout out to Sat Seven, shout out all the folks that are also part of your journey. But like, yeah, knowing like, okay, those reps got to those hard skills the same way that I feel way more confident. Bro, I've been able to write a fucking 30, you say 15, 20. I've been able to write a 15, 20-minute verse for like a year now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's not something that I'm going to do every single time. That's about like working out the rep, or like working out the writing muscles, working out we'll go to LA now, and I can do 3 or 4 quick songs to get in the mode, and then we can bust down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now it's like, because now I'm starting to, with this new project, I've really started to lean into songwriting, which I have never done. You know what I'm saying? Like, this isn't just 16 bars.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, no, I'm really trying to shout out John Wild. I'm taking those words into consideration when he's like, bro, a song is someone else can sing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
A song is someone else can sing.
Yeah, so a song is something someone else can sing. You know what I mean? Making, recording something, making rap or whatever, or a song is just making music. I don't know exactly how he said it, but the idea is there's a difference between just like making shit that people can like listen to and maybe resonate with, as opposed to something that somebody can really like sing along with, bro. So shout out track number 1. I don't even know if we're titling it Doofus or if we're titling it I don't feel like doing shit, like the acronym.
I guess we're gonna do it right now, I guess.
Yeah, I think Doofus. Yeah, because of the one bar where I'm like,
oh yeah.
Yeah.
I do know what you're
I fill my cup before I fill my cup. I can really show you what a doofus is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that song, shout out Doofus, bro, because that song to me is a song people can sing with.
Yeah.
It's days I don't feel like doing shit. Like, people are gonna get down with that. You know what I'm saying? So, but I never really made music like that. The times I did make music like that, it was by accident, and then again, it was those like soft reps.
Like, oh.
I'm like, oh yeah.
That's cool to know too, because I feel like the same way you feel like the mixes, I feel like I was a part of the songwriting process.
Yeah, bro.
Just because of like getting in and really being like, I'm gonna have this.
Yeah, bro. How about you just being like, yo, we're doing a session, right? You were a large part of me being able even to complete that. That was what we were just talking about off camera on the way over here, was a lot of what you did for me was absolutely build those reps, because you was the one that was helping organize my time and being like, bruh, you need to get in the studio. You said you want to do this, and I believe you, but this is what it's going to take, so you're going to need to like implement this. And so not only were you building my songwriting skills when we were actually in the studio, but you were just building my skills as an artist, like my level of investment as an artist, my understanding of what it would take as an artist. You know what I mean? Because I could look at LaRussell and be like, oh yeah, that's tight, and then you could look at me and be like, bro, BFFR, be fucking for real, like you're not doing that though.
BFFR.
Yeah, I mean, BFF fucking R, bro, like this ain't that though. You know what I mean? Like you have to work more to get it to be that. You know what I mean? I remember you telling me things. I 100% believe anybody on that level could be a peer of yours and not somebody that has to be like, somebody that's out of reach, and this is, a year and a half ago, you know what I mean? And a lot of things have transpired since then, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, so, and they continue to, and they will continue to, even as we move into this new chapter here.
That's always funny to think about too, just because of like, obviously I was telling you that, not actually like knowing either, but knowing that like, if I'm gonna help you, I don't want to like box myself in a corner and not be able to help you. So I was like, damn, what am I gonna need to even be able? So it's like the iron sharpening iron type shit, where it's like, oh, bro says he wants to execute this.
Then
I think that I'm gonna need this in order to do it, and then once you take the necessary step, now I gotta take the necessary step. Now I gotta be like, oh shit, he did what I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna fucking get in the studio this many times because if we're gonna do this, it's gonna take.
Did anybody see that suspect ass car pull up on camera? Anyways, continue. I'm over here. I know the camera see me checking your shoulder hell of the time. I thought it was gonna go up.
I was looking behind.
I'm sorry.
But anyway, yeah, knowing that. Hi, that wave.
What was that?
Yeah. What was that? Yeah. Oh. Whoa. Yeah. Damn.
Try safe, bro.
Try safe. Yeah, try. That was nuts.
Okay.
So that's what that was. Really pressed up on you that wave.
That was crazy.
Good thing we're right here. Huh?
Yeah, I was ready. I promise you, run the camera back. You gonna see me like this. Yeah, I'm just.
I was kind of glancing too, but.
Well, I seen you looking back. You were just trying to hold. You were trying to come.
I just didn't know. Yeah.
Okay, what the fuck were we talking about?
Oh no, I was saying. Okay, so obviously, like, you feel like it helped you a lot, but obviously, what we was talking about before, as a theme of this conversation too, is it's obviously gonna help me in the reps. But if I'm basically telling you and not even knowing 100% myself, like, this is what we got to do, once you take the necessary step, it's like, oh shit, he actually took the step. Because some people, if you say something, they're not all going to take the step.
Yeah, hell yeah.
You took the step, and then now that requires me to take the next step.
Yep, and that is dope. 100.
Because I'm like, oh shit, now I got to,
yep.
All right, well, if I'm going to execute what I had in my mind,
this is what's going to happen next.
Now I have to do my part.
And it's like this back and forth balance that happens. And then the moment that one of us doesn't, though, it can fuck it up. But it's cool because we have that relationship to where, we'll kind of like pull each other out if we're able to.
Yeah, exactly.
Super crazy. Pull each other.
Yeah, you got a lot of shit. Everybody. Patreon go see hella shit, bro. Josh Jordan just spazzing out.
This is Josh for real, man. That's what I look like on a daily, bro. I got a million things on my mind, okay?
Discord.
A lot of people don't recognize the type of shit, I mean, they do recognize. I'm not trying to just dick swing, but it's real shit. It's like, bro, it's like from fucking, it's like we're artists, you know what I mean? I know that the producer engineer is a little bit different, but I'm going to just put it under the artist category.
Bro,
yeah, so.
Especially in 2025.
Artist, business owner, is definitely separate, and they both would require your full attention.
Yeah.
But we've decided to integrate them, so that's dope. and
but we just decided.
We also have jobs, like day jobs. You know what I'm saying?
Go back and forth with those ones.
Yeah, sometimes we work jobs, sometimes we don't. Right now I'm in this thing where I'm like, I'm gonna work for 30 days and stack up $5,000 and quit. Like, okay, we'll see, So like, that, and the thing about what I just said, like, that would require my full attention, you know what I mean? Like, there's just a lot of things that we do that any single person would probably just do, like one of them.
Hella funny. I just told my brother this yesterday. I was like, bro, he asked me, he's kind of a smart ass. He's 19, bro.
Yeah.
He's going to be a smart ass. And plus, we just smart asses, bro.
Yeah.
But anyway, he goes,
Game Shark.
He goes, did you feel like you used your time wisely today? Because I got myself a piece of cake. He goes, you feel like you earned that? And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Like, shut up, go to work.
And he goes, yeah. And he goes, you feel like you used all your hours? And he's smiling because Like I said, he's just being a smartass. He's not even actually.
He's not blitzing you.
He's just trying to give me some shit and be a smartass and shoot the shit. And I was like, I'll probably utilize my hours and do more in one day than somebody does in a week.
Yeah.
And I was just like, bro.
So leave it at that.
Yeah.
So leave it at that. So I don't got a dick swing no more.
I was like, did you utilize all your hours?
And what's fucked up is, there's always, it's funny because that's what's so sick is, that's the mindset we have to have. Otherwise, we'll fucking resent all of the people around us.
Yeah.
So we have to be like, yeah, I'm confident in what I'm doing. But then there's also that I could be doing more. And that fucks me up. And that fucks me up because sometimes it's like, I think that, but I'm like, can I?
Yeah, can you?
Or am I capacity?
Well, because that's what, when I told him that, I remember thinking about it.
Well, we got to get out this fishbowl. Cars are pulling up and shit. We got to go inside.
He was like, fuck this. I remember thinking about that one day, though. I'll leave it at this. Of like,
bring the camera with us.
People who do, but people who do 40 hours, right? When you really think about a 40-hour work week, and you think about how much time that actually gives you, people act like that's so little,
bro.
But if you really break it down and you really go, oh fuck, like what do you really do when you go home? Because I really sat down one day and was like, bro, what am I? Because when I had to go back to work, it's like you said, when we go back and forth, it's like, all right, well, if I'm gonna do anywhere near this, how much time do I actually have? Like, and like low key, you're just bullshitting at the end of the day. Like, if you go home and you just sit down and like,
if you go watch TV for more than an hour, that's what I'm gonna say. Because I'm the first one to tell you that sometimes I'll blitz out. I'll watch fucking 3 hours of fucking
it's needed
Netflix with my lady. You know what I mean? But the reality of like, if you're working a 40-hour work week. And every day you go home from work and you get home at 5 o'clock and you watch TV and play video games and veg out until 9 or 10. And we could even open it up. Fuck just TV. Let's say indulging. Let's say sitting at home smoking, not doing shit, with the TV on. Sitting at home drinking, not doing shit with the TV on. So because like going out for a walk, to me, there's value in that. There's value in that. You know what I mean?
Because we're just talking about after work too. Because if you're doing that after work, the weekends you're not doing that.
Let me here's a small breakdown. Here's what I just had to go through with my girl, and it caused an entire uproar and fucking. I'm not gonna say an argument, but like, yeah, you want to talk about a real hard conversation, like that's people don't talk about that shit. When you're in a relationship and you're living the lives that we're living, that's a whole nother. We didn't mention that one on the list. How about that? How about the woman requires the full attention? You know what I'm saying? And not even just the woman, the man too. It's like the relationship. You know what I mean? And the good thing about especially our relationships, because I know how we have similarities in the senses, we're very understanding in our own relationships about time and how sensitive it is right now to things. So it makes it more doable. I've seen other relationships crumble under stress of time. I feel like our ladies kind of understand that situation. So that's one thing. But
shout out to them.
Yeah, shout out to ladies. You know what I'm saying? But I just had to have this conversation with my girl where, we're getting married in May, and I'm like, look, I'm about to work night shifts as a server because what I can't sacrifice right now, the whole thing, is the business. I can't just not be. If I go get a day job and I can only be here at night, that loses. And we've talked about this because there's something about the sales roles. There's something about being the person here to represent the business during the day when every other business person and every other entity is operating. Of course, the engineer is going to be the late night studio operator, right? That makes sense that you're here for that. But when you're talking about me and you trying to bring somebody here to talk to them about grant writing, yeah, that happens at 1 p.m.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you talk about an intern coming from a high school, that happens at 10 a.m., right? Like, so there's certain things that we can't give up during the day because that's what we're trying to build here. And so because of that, I ended up taking the night shift. And so what happens then is now what I'm sacrificing, if I would have taken a day job, I'm not sacrificing no time with my girl because my girl works until the evening. She's teaching. I've now taken a night job, so I'm not going to be at the studio in the mornings or working on my artistry or working on the things that I'm working on for my entrepreneurship and my artist journey. And then at night, clocking that 40. So now it's like, well, now we've doubled up the average man's work. You know what I mean? It's not just a little over. I'm doing 80s.
Now you're doing,
You know what I mean? Because I'm not spending less than the whole day at the studio. And then the job is going to be structured to 8 hours.
That's why I always use Gino as a good example of this, because he's in there 60 hours a week.
Every week. Plus,
like
an artist.
Exactly.
Plus, not only does he got a lady, he got a family. Shout out Gino. You know what I mean? Because, if you really want it, you're going to make it crack. You know what I mean?
60 hours. He up at 2 in the morning.
Yeah. Working out at the gym before he goes to work. Built different. Yeah, clip that. You know what I mean?
Clip that. All right, let's get out of the fishbowl.
All right, let's get out the fishbowl before we get pulled up on no count. Like so.